Yeah, they're going for I think their third division title in a row. The first time they would do that. I think their fourth playoff spot in a row. I don't think there's any question they're going to the playoffs. This is just one of those teams. If you love baseball, you got to love watching the Rays play and how they go about their business. Usually not huge stars. They kind of always have a top tier farm system. Yes, they were one of the early ones that adopted the analytics, and that's really paid off for them. They're always moving. They're always moving within their organization. They're always in the top 5, it seems like, in their farm system. Always have people ready to go if somebody goes down. I think you see a lot of flexibility. It gives them a lot of flexibility. Now a lot of those players end up going on eventually, but we talked about so many young stars in this game now. I'd like to. Maybe I'm going to do a show at some point about all these young talents. I've never seen anything like it. And there's probably 20 players this year that you're going to see this year, maybe emerge this year, or late call ups. But you're seeing one right there, Wander Franco. He's going to be a superstar. He's going to be a superstar in this league. Has the pedigree, has the body. He's talented. I think he's the next guy you see step up, kind of like Fernando Tatis Jr. did a couple years ago. Who that injury for San Diego is not good. That stinks. That's a talented team and talented guy, and I hate to see the young talent start having some injuries like that. But the Rays, seems like they're always there when you don't expect them to be. They are. Oh my gosh, it's winter and I'm seeing things fly around now. I don't like that. So let's take a look at their lineup. Again, if you're not a baseball fan, their lineups are a lot of people that you don't necessarily know until they have really big breakout years. You have the rookie of the year leading things off. I can never say that name. Randy, we're just going to call him Randy. Franco, I think, again, now if Franco falters, he doesn't take that next step. I think, again, above all other teams, you see the Rays do this, somebody else will step in there. They have organizational flexibility where Franco really struggles and needs some more time or plate appearances or whatever it may be. They'll shift things around. They always do. It seems like they're always capable of doing that. Probably because the analytics, they know their team, their organization so well and know how to shift gears, know how to move the pieces around, that they seem like they're always there. They went through a long period where they got the number 1 draft choice for years and years and years. And really built their farm system. So then when the analytics guys came in, they kind of had a lot to work with. So if Franco doesn't pan out for some reason or doesn't take that next step this year, again, I'm not overly concerned. I still think they finish where they finish without that. But this is a really good lineup. Brandon Lau had a great year last year. He's a great stick in there. Austin Meadows, great DH. Some of these guys, again, if they don't compete, maybe they don't hold on to them after this year, going into next year, signing some free agents and stuff like that. But again, I just never worry about the Rays. I wish they had a different ballpark. I wish people went out and watched them. I don't know what the status is. I don't know if they're trying to get a new ballpark or what's happening with that. But it just seems like that city doesn't support them. And I could be wrong. It just seems from an outside perspective. I have a couple friends that are in Tampa. Maybe they can shed some light on it at some point. But I expect the Rays to be in the mix as they have been for the last 5 years, for the next 5 years. That's a long run in baseball. Things can happen so quickly. And again, if any team can adapt to players not working out or injuries, it's the Rays, because they have organizational flexibility. I think that's the biggest key for them. So that's their lineup. Solid lineup. Again, not big names that you necessarily know. But Kevin Cash's team, always is ready. Now they have a lot of arms in their system ready to go. Shane Baz is hurt. He's another, stud young guy. Shane McClanahan, Corey Kluber, he's up there. Has injury prone. So again, because of that organizational flexibility, if Kluber gets hurt again, and I love Corey Kluber, being a Tribe fan, love that man. One of the best pitchers in Cleveland history. But he's been snake bitten with injuries over the last 3 years. And you never know what's going to happen. Drew Rasmussen, again, there's some great young arms here and some more coming. So again, because the organizational flexibility, if Corey Kluber goes down and some of these guys have a rougher years or rough patches, there's people that can plug in, even if it's just a spot start here and there, just to give somebody a rest or whatever it is. You can rest assured that the Rays are on that and they can make it work. I don't think there's panic versus some other teams. If somebody goes down, like Chris Sale goes down, Severino goes down for the Yankees, there's some panic that sets in the fandom and the organization. I think the Rays have that organizational flexibility that I don't think people panic. I think they know people have confidence in what the organization is doing, and I think they're always going to be there. So again, this is an exciting team to watch. It was a really exciting team last year. So if you have a chance to watch them, watch them. This whole division is going to be fun to watch. A lot of young talent, mixed with some great veterans. But I have this team finishing second this year after 2 first-place finishes. Again, Josh Lowe, Xavier Edwards, a great infielder. Vidal Brujan is a really talented guy. You're going to see him this year for sure. You saw him last year a little bit. Again, I haven't looked at how the rosters are shaping up in the last few days, so we'll see what happens. But again, these are the guys that give them organizational flexibility. There's several other guys with arms, left and right handers, that I could have put on this list as well, which you will probably see. But again, outfield, infield, if one of those guys goes down, struggles, again, they have people to plug in, and they have some young stars ready to roll. And I have to say with the Rays, I'm so glad they went away from that, whatever that was. First of all, the teal green, which I hated on that team, and then the rainbow one with the Rays on that was awful. That was awful. I will soon be doing a uniform episode with one of my kids. I think they both kind of want to do another episode with me. So we're probably going to do uniforms and maybe college logos, but I'm always looking at logos and the color schemes and so forth. And I like these Rays uniforms and logos better than in the past. So we'll see. So here's your snapshot of the Rays. You saw the lineup, you saw the rotations, some of the possible impact prospects, 94 and 86, or 68 rather, 94 and 68. They won 100 games last year, so this is a 6-game difference. Again, this division's tough. It's hard to maintain the momentum they had. They wouldn't surprise me if they won 105 games. So if they don't have injuries, and again, they have that plug-and-play mentality, Toronto has some injuries. Other teams stumble in the division. I can definitely see them winning over 100 games. Wouldn't shock me at all. In fact, this is the team that would least shock me. I would expect it from this team. So other teams I don't say that about, but this I wouldn't even bat an eye if they won 104 games. So yeah, it's the Rays. So, but I have them winning 94, and 68. How they contend? Again, injuries, Toronto injuries, them staying healthy, the organizational flexibility that I'd mentioned when they need it late in the season. I think another thing that organizational flexibility does, and what the Rays do really well, is having their teams ready for the playoff. They're rested, they're healthy, and they're ready to go. I think sometimes, teams try to get there. It's a marathon, but that last month of the season sometimes is a serious sprint, and it seems like the Rays are always ready and prepared. So again, how they contend, they're contending right now. I expect them to battle Toronto, but again, a few breaks here and there. Toronto, I think, was a year away last year. I actually had them winning the division last year. Some of the young talent stepping up. So it fell a little short. But again, that division, I think they won 90 games last year, didn't they? We'll see in a second. This division was ridiculous. So it's not like they underachieved last year. It's a young team with huge superstars coming. So anyway, I have the Rays as second in the American League East.